what I've done is up the timers a little bit so that the photo period, the day length period, is slightly longer. So the lighting, which is on a ramping system, so it starts off by the basking light coming on first thing in the morning. So that's now set to come on at about 6:25. So that'll be for this week. Then half an hour after that, so the basking light creates like a sort of like a dawn effect, yeah, and it'll warm up those slate crevices. Then followed by that is the two Jungle Dawn LED lights and the UVB, which are all interconnected. They come on at just before 7 o'clock. It's about 5 to 7 in the morning. And then half an hour after them, we have this main plant grow light, which is an LED that comes on at about 7:30-ish in the morning. Okay, and then in the evening, this will go off first, and then half an hour later the Jungle Dawns and the UVB will go off. So you can see here we have the UVB here, a Jungle Dawn here, and then there's a Jungle Dawn at the back, just alongside there. And then this main plant grow light. And then finally the basking light in the evening will go off last thing. Okay, so sunset, which is when the basking light turns off, goes off at the moment. Let's have a look. So it comes on that time in the morning, and then it goes off at 6:15 in the evening. Okay. Mr. Jinx is popping his head out there now. So the temperature on the thermostat has also increased. So that I've increased the dial on the thermostat now to 27 degrees Celsius, because even though it's been set to 25, the temperatures have been on the occasional moment been reaching 30 Celsius in the daytime. Okay, but still getting to about 15 at some points at night time. So there is a variation. Humidity as well varies. So yeah, there's a lot of variables here. What else can we update? So feeding. So I put in a good mixture of bugs in there the other day. So crickets, hoppers, waxworm, mealworm, calciworm, isopods, dairy cow isopods. They all went in, so a whole bunch went in, and I have seen all the locusts have been eaten. There's no locusts left. I only put a handful in because I don't want them to eat all my plants, which they will do given the opportunity. So I'm going to put a little cluster in, say 3, maybe 4 max, of the medium sized locusts, so juvenile locusts. If I was to put 4 of the large locusts in, that would be too much and too intense for the plants, so I don't do that. Okay, maybe in the summertime I will, as a treat, give 1 large locust as a meal in the week. But with feeding, it's very sporadic. So because I provided a bunch of food the other day, and as his metabolism is still kind of not back to normal yet after hibernation, he won't need feeding. I won't need to release food in there now for at least another couple of weeks. Okay. he is totally independent at hunting. And I've also even noticed tonight a couple of dubia roaches lingering around, and they have been in there since before hibernation. So they must have been in there since September last year. Okay, which was the time I released Bugs before he went into hibernation. Okay, sorry, there was a time, yeah, just before he went into hibernation. I think it was about the 22nd of October. So yeah, a long time ago. But they're still in there, the dubia roaches. So there's plenty of food in there without me sort of interfering and thinking, oh, there's not enough food, and adding more in when there is plenty. Yeah. Okay. Now, what is this here? This rock is limestone, which I sourced from a quarry in North Wales. We get a lot here in North Wales. And limestone is rich in calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, sulfites, and it is also a sedimentary rock which is found in the salt range in Pakistan, which is native leopard gecko habitat. So from doing research, and there is access to that document, well, it's not a document, it was a video which I found on YouTube by a lecturer. It is available if you go on the communities tab on my channel, scroll down the page, and there is a link there to a video. Can't remember the title of it now, but it is about the topography of the salt range in Pakistan. And in there it explains that limestone is typical rock found in the salt range. Okay, so check that out. So yeah, limestone is kind of like a chalky like rock, and is a natural source of minerals. Okay, so clay soils, hard clay soils, are rich in limestone. Okay, for example. So there we are, that is limestone. Okay. The plants. Now, this Sedum corticola is doing well. That's doing fine as it is there. Next to it is a wormwood. Now, that is looking a little bit... It's been struggling, this one has. I put it down initially to winter dormancy. There is still a very tiny bit of green showing there, which is, you know, it's still alive, but it's just struggling. So they do tend to like full sunlight. So maybe when I lift the plastic off completely from under the LED grow lights, so when day length hours are back to full, that will improve, hopefully. Still alive. They are a tough little species, but I sadly had to get rid of the helianthemum because that just fizzled out really, and then I kind of replaced that with this kind of re-landscape this area, okay, with the limestone and this cave. Above that we have another sedum variety, Sedum Cape Blanco. This again, it's been in the terrarium a while, but it's been moved, and it was in the cool end for a while, and then during the winter it wasn't really getting much light, so it's kind of a little bit on its last legs, so then that may struggle as well. It's still alive, so hopefully when spring arrives and more light and more warmth, it'll pick up. It's in the right environment because it likes rockeries, yeah. It's normally planted outside in gardens, but as it's an alpine, alpines are quite hardy, so for terrarium, I thought I'd give it a bit of a go and see how it goes. But yeah, it is struggling a bit, so it may not survive. I may have to replace it with something else. Okay, so that's about it, guys, for this week. Yeah, I look forward to posting another update soon. Okay, have a good week.